Makers.
Happy on the beat.
Well, good time of day, whatever time of day it is for you. I got to fix my shot. It looks like it's a little off. Hold on 1 second here. Yes. How's everybody doing? Oh, another one. You got to love it. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. This one's off right here now. This is off. I gotta fix it. Yep. This is what happens when you're a one-man show. We're gonna have to deal with it, okay? I mean, is that all right? Let me see if I just turn it a little bit. There we go. All right, so I only have one thing that I have ready because I'm going to try to talk to people. Good to see you, Ash Vanilla, Therian. There goes Alan Hinkle, who's here. Earl Gray is here. There goes Roberto Clement. Roberto, did you call the line and leave a message? This is on vertical, yes. It's on both horizontal and vertical. So, and then it's on vertical on 2 other channels, which, by the way, Alan, EndingMAGA 2 got like 28,000 viewers of the last live shot. The last live shot had 28,000 people. I didn't realize that that so many people watched on that channel. That's the highest that channel has ever gotten. But I'm on EndingMAGA, which is this channel, the main channel. Then there's EndingMAGA 2, and then the EndingMAGA show is another. There's 3 channels that we're on right now on YouTube. Okay. So make sure you guys subscribe to all those channels. I'm putting the same exact thing on all the channels. I'm trying to grow the channel. I got to figure out what's going on with my channel though, guys, because you didn't know I had to check. I have a second and third channel. Yes, it's both. I thought you knew that, but it's the EndingMAGA show. Well, first of all, it's EndingMAGA 2, and then the EndingMAGA show. And so the EndingMAGA 2 has like 560, maybe something like that, subscribers. The EndingMAGA show is the newest one. That one has about 100. And I'm trying to figure out, guys, how to get my, like, I'm going to start posting on the community, because I have a big community that on here on YouTube that you guys are all very much a part of, and you guys are always commenting on everything. Like I post different things, like just different stupid things. Like tomorrow morning, one's going to go out that says, I'll show it to you guys. Let me show you this. Let me show you what I have. This one says, I absolutely love seeing Trump turn on his most loyal people on the planet. I fucking love it. What's funny is these MAGA dummies still haven't figured it out. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud, laugh out loud. And the reason why I put that stuff is because it spurs conversation, and people read it, and they react to it. And of course, people are going to read this and they're going to see, I absolutely love seeing Trump turn on his most loyal people, because that's exactly what he does. And it's just hysterical to me that these people, guys, still have not figured out that this guy does not give a flying fuck about any of them at all. We saw Alan and Roberto. We saw Stan Durko, his most loyal soldier. His Achilles was Marjorie Taylor Greene. That girl was his most feverish, most fervent, radical, just everything Donald Trump. She went to the State of the Union with a Make America hat, and she just was like all about Donald Trump, and he just was like, fuck you. That's exactly what he feels about every single one of these people that back him up. Every single one of them. If Benny Hanna turns and says something bad about Donald Trump, you can best believe he's going to say something bad about him, Benny Johnson. If Tim Pool says something bad about it, he's going to turn on these motherfuckers. Nicki Minaj is another one. These people it is just amazing to me that these people, after, it's not once or twice, like how many, it's like thousands of times now we've seen this, where it doesn't matter who you are, he will take a shit on you any day, any second, and it has nothing to do with the person. It's not because they did something. It's because of how wretched he is and what a horrendous person he is. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody at all, bro. Not one person. He doesn't care about any of them, bro. Not one person. And I have someone, which is fantastic. Let's find out who this is. Hold on. Hello? Well, thank you so much. Hold on one second. I do want to bring you on, and I don't have you on right now. So just give me 1 second while I do that. This is one of my moderators. Oops, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. Hold on. I have to add the audio. Okay, now I have you. Who am I speaking to though? I don't even know.
It's Ash Vanilla Ethereum. I don't like to say my actual name, but I just wanted to wish you and everyone watching good evening. So
well, thank you so much.
Good night in the chaos.
Ash Vanilla Ethereum. By the way, Ash Vanilla Ethereum. You don't have to give your name. You just give your screen name like you just did now.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Ash, because you are one of the moderators. Thank you for doing the work that you do down there. I know it can get crazy in the comments, but what do you think about what's going on? There is so much to talk about. Is there anything at all that sticks out that you want to mention?
No, really. I just wanted to say goodnight, but I just also wanted to mention I'm a trans American, and just a reminder that we're still out there, and we're still here, and we're not really going to leave anytime soon, no matter what the rotten orange says.
Right. Okay. Right. So now that you bring that up, before I let you go, I do have to ask this question, because it is nothing for us. You know that, right? Like we're all about living life together here on this side. But doesn't it make you puzzled and perplexed that MAGA keeps on falling for such cultural bullshit, like anything that has to do with trans, when it in fact literally does zero to them at all? There's almost zero that trans has to do with just about anybody, unless you're intimately involved with somebody. Have you been involved with anybody's life, involved yourself in anybody's life, affected anybody's life in any way whatsoever?
Not at all. They just want to get mad at something, and Trump says, "Hey, let's get mad at these people," and then they're like, "All right."
That's exactly
They
what it is.
follow blindly, like I was going for metaphor there, but I lost the second part. But you know what I mean.
No, yeah, they do follow blindly. I mean, and it's something that I continue to, and I hope you never catch any feelings about this, because I like to make fun of these people. And all I do is
Me
make
too.
fun of them, because what they do is they fall for this complete and utter nonsense, Ash Vanilla, because it literally makes no difference in their life what they're presented with in every aspect, every single time. The main one is always about this trans playing in sports nonsense. I always look at that and I go, why does that bother? What does that have to do with anybody? It doesn't do anything to anybody at all, period. Ever.
I mean, I don't like sports, but that's just me. If my trans girl friend, not my girlfriend, but you know what I mean. My friend who's a trans girl wants to play basketball. She should be able to play basketball with the other girls on like 2 years HRT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why we want to, like, one time I went to my friend's Catholic, and one time I went to her house, and I saw her dad was watching on Fox News, gender changing, trans, women's sports, men, and I'm like, oh my God, the idiocy. The idiocy.
One of the things that Donald Trump did during the campaign was he told a story, and he goes, "Can you believe it? Children are going to school. They're going to school.
Oh,
and then
that's
they're coming
good.
back, and they're
That's good.
sex changed. They have an operation at school. Can you believe it?" Like, and people believe this shit.
Never got told what trans was in school until 4th grade.
Yeah.
Where our vocabulary word was boycott, and then our teacher briefly mentioned some people boycotted Chick-fil-A because they were against gay people, and then all the innocent 4th graders in the class were like, "Miss, what's a gay person?" And we kind of went down a rabbit hole for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because her family is like big supporters, but yeah, I've never had a drag queen read me story times in kindergarten.
Right.
Never had.
I mean, we're talking about like almost non-existent. Like, has that kind of stuff happened? Yes, but it's the way Fox presents it is as if every first grade class in every school across the country has drag queens coming in and reading stories. Even if they did, it doesn't matter. It's not doing anything to anybody, but these people vote against their interests because they fall for that nonsense. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Ash Vanilla Therian, thank you so much for calling. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for being one of my moderators. I appreciate
All right. You have a good evening, and let's hope they're a little bit chiller today.
Yes. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There goes Ash Vanilla. I want you guys to hear this too, because I want this to happen more often. If anybody has a what's it called? A question. If anybody has a question, go ahead and call the line, even if I'm not here, because this woman did this and she has a great question. Listen to this.
Hey, love your show. I was going to ask a question. I am a Democrat and a diehard Democrat. I'm a veteran and I fought for my country. How do people explain to the cultists that they're wrong, and how do you, I don't know, like when people are in a cult and they get rescued, how do they fix them? That was my topic. How do we fix these people who are so ingrained in Fox News and all their lives for decades? They're psychologically warfared. And Fox News says they're a entertainment station.
Hold on one second, because someone is calling. Let's find out who this is. Hey, man, what's up?
Timu Andy Garcia. What's going on, buddy?
Timu Garcia, how are you, brother?
Andy Garcia, man. I'm just checking on you. I just make sure everything's okay, man. I've noticed you're losing a little bit of hair, skin gray. I just want to check on you, man. I like you, man. You know,
You said that you were checking on me because of what now? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you very well.
I noticed you're losing a lot of hair and a lot of gray since the first time I seen you. So I'm just checking on you.
You think my hair's going more gray since the first time you saw me?
Yeah, dude, it is, dude. I'm telling you, it is.
Oh, okay.
Bro.
Maybe I need to dye it again. I haven't dyed it in a long time, but I think it kind of looks the same as normal.
Dude, I'm seeing you getting stressed out over this fucking political shit, man. Like,
oh man, I have to do a show, bro. I gotta make it entertaining.
Yeah,
bro. Like I can't just sit here like looking at the camera being dull, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, man? Even though I don't agree with a lot of your politics and whatnot, man, I like your show, man.
Well, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to bring up at all that while I have you on the line?
Nah, not really, man. Not. It's not that.
You're just calling to say hi, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. So when you see me in the comments, Timu Andy Garcia, you know it's me.
I will, brother. Thank you so much for calling, man. I appreciate that.
All right.
Timo and Andy Garcia, everybody. How about that? Let's continue with the message, though, because this woman had a good question.
Psychologically warfared. And Fox News says they're a entertainment station. They are not a news station. How do we get the dumb Republicans to know the truth? Thanks for your time. Have a good day.
Thanks for your time. Have a good day.
Shawnee.
This is a very busy day on the phone today. Shawnee, how are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Good, man. I did say that right, Shawnee?
Yeah, like Sean.
What's going on? What's on your mind, Shawnee?
Oh, not much, man. I just found your channel and I just heard the last caller and giving you a hard time and then ended up being pretty friendly and you offered him to talk about whatever. I'm down to talk about whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we talk about politics here, so I'm wondering if you have anything that you'd like to speak about, in terms of what's going on in the world today, what's going on in the country with Donald Trump, the parties.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on things?
Yeah, I'm generally a far right conservative, but I'm actually very, very anti-Trump as an individual and as a regime. But on like a first principles based way of thinking, I am very, very much pro deportation. I'm very, very much like pro mass deportations. But I don't actually believe that's what ICE is doing, and I don't actually believe that that's what Trump regime is intending to do. I think they're intending to sow chaos.
Well, I can't agree with you more. I mean, like you and I are on the same page with this. Let me ask you though, because like it's often brought up, right, that Barack Obama, even Joe Biden had like millions of deportations, and all these different presidents before Donald Trump. They were able to do it, and they were able to do it lawfully without all of this nonsense that's happening right now, which is probably something that you can appreciate, right? Like you like that, and so do I. Like we all want this to happen. We like the fact that there are rules, regulations, and ways that the government can go about things to clean things up. But when we're looking at the way things are being done right now, where you have masked terrorists, in my opinion, going into inland, they're not at the border. They're going in. They're pulling people out of cars, bashing doors down. If it's not because they're getting rid of the criminals, like you said, they're not, because I agree with you, they're not doing that, then what do you think it is?
I personally think that the most important thing for both MAGA people, I'm always talking to my conservative brethren that are still very MAGA. I personally left that movement when Donald Trump said, if you still care about Epstein, you're not MAGA. So he made that decision for me.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly preaching to them. I'm constantly preaching to the other MAGA guys like, hey, I guess I would call myself America first, but I'm constantly preaching to the other dudes on the right, like, guys, we need to care about the fact that JD Vance's daddy is Peter Thiel.
Yes.
We need to care about Palantir. We need to care about digital surveillance. We need to care about AI. And so those are the things that I actually think that the immigration stuff is a distraction currently. I think Trump's a grifter. I don't think he ever intended on doing mass deportations. He doesn't care about demographic shift in this country. He's just a billionaire class guy. And we saw that back in the summer when he doubled back and left all the agricultural and hotel workers alone. And we know there's millions of illegals in those fields, whether you agree with it or not. I lived in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, back in the Obama administration. And I remember ICE coming to factories in the East Bay and Oakland and those areas. And they were getting like 100 to 400 illegals in a single raid on a single like fruit cutting factory. And a big difference I would say is I remember watching videos of that, and all of the people being deported would orderly leave the factory. They wouldn't run, they wouldn't fight, but I do have to say, in ICE's credit, early in the summer when they were going out to the farms and the factories, they were running away. And so law enforcement does have a right to use physical force to apprehend people. Now, a lot of what I've seen of ICE is despicable, and I can't justify it.
I have to say, Shawnee, you are a breath of fresh air. I'm being serious, because it is very difficult to find someone who is what was once a conservative Republican, like what you are, a true Republican, that has sunken into the black hole that is Donald Trump and what he's brought the party down from. I mean, and so you have conservative values, and I'm sure that there's other things aside from immigration that you probably are observing with Donald Trump, like his financial and economic policies, that if you were to look at the big beautiful bill, knowing what a conservative has been, someone that we've all grown up knowing that and learning that they are someone that's a fiscal conservative. They want to bring down spending and all this. But meanwhile, this big beautiful bill takes away from what we're paying for as taxpayers, giving it to the richest people, and then taking a deficit, expanding it, and then now adding even more to our national debt. As a real true conservative, which is I'm expecting you are, that's got to drive you nuts.
Oh, of course. I mean, I was with him when we were supposed to be anti-war, and obviously we're just going and being Israel's lapdog to start wars in the Middle East.
Another topic, but that's another thing, right? I mean, God, my goodness.
Yeah, and that's money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, right? And so, I mean, it's speaking to the same thing of, if you're actually a fiscal conservative, then you should be super mad that we're spending all this foreign aid and military money on these foreign countries, right? And I don't like that. I've actually evolved in my thinking economically over the last 5, 6, 7 years. I guess I would have been a bit more small government earlier. I've come to a first principles way of thinking that actually I am a big supporter of mixed markets. I don't think free market capitalism is rational or logical in any way. It's predicated on infinite growth, and the only thing that I can relate that to would be cancer. I do think it's a useful tool. I think it did some amazing things of pushing technology, but I think we need to do a shift of looking at, like, okay, we've got this amazing technology. Now, what do we actually do with it correctly? And that's what scares me about the technocrats like Vance and Thiel, that are Thiel and Elon and the rest of them, and the ones that we don't even talk about their names. Those guys terrify me because they are clearly inserting themselves into the administration, and I don't think they care who it is. They're just going to be there, right? And so I've rambled for a little bit, but yeah, so I actually believe that I'm a big fan of, like, the way Japan does things, or the Scandinavian countries up until about 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
I think that it's okay for a nation to privilege its people and to privilege its own ethnic group. America's unique because we didn't have our native ethnic group has been obviously subjugated in the Native Americans, but we did have a national identity, and it did change severely with Hart-Celler Act and other immigration reform in the 60s. And I think you need to take a serious look at that, and that's a whole nother issue. But I do think that the nation should nationalize different industries that are critical to the people thriving in health. I think a mixed market, a mixed socialism is actually the right way to do things, but it needs to be done with the health and thriving of the nation state and the people within it first. And the place that I'm a big conservative is I think that the nuclear family is the heart and soul of any healthy society, and therefore any policies that would weaken or diminish the health of the nuclear family are dysgenic and wrong, and then policies that support the health are the right ones.
Shawnee, I'm going to encourage you to start talking about this and start making videos. Put yourself out there as a true, real conservative, a real Republican, instead of what has happened to this country. You have a lot of the same exact views that we do on our side that I have. We can even do some collaborations. I think you've got a lot of really great points. You sound like you know what you're talking about. I don't know how you would feel about going on camera. You can even do it off camera. You can just do voiceovers. There's plenty of people who do that, but I think you should be telling people about what your ideas are. I think that you're that good.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, Sean, for coming.
God bless.
Thanks. How about that, everybody? I would have never guessed that, but you know what? He has proven me wrong. I mean, for very few, there's going to still be those MAGAs out there that are just completely and utterly clueless, and they're not going to be able to figure this out. But God damn it, that dude knew what he was talking about, right? But let me get back to this question, because I've been trying to get through this question, but I keep on getting calls. So let's go back to it. And so she says that she loves the show, right?
Hey, love your show.
We're gonna get to it.
I was going to ask a question. I am a Democrat and a diehard Democrat. I'm a veteran and I fought for my country. How do people explain to the cultists that they're wrong, and how do you, I don't know, like when people are in a cult and they get rescued, how do they fix them?
So here's what my advice has been to everybody when it comes to this question. How do you fix somebody like a MAGA person? My answer has always been, and it will continue to be, there is no way to. You cannot speak to these people. That's why when they come on my channel, meaning in the comments, they say things and I make fun of them, this, that, and the other. If someone calls up and we have a conversation, it's usually going to be a very good back and forth, because usually people that call and want to participate in the show, they usually are going to have, they're going to want to have good points, or they're going to present themselves better. But if you're talking to somebody and they don't want to hear it, and they're literally like telling you you're wrong when you're giving them stone cold facts, there's no way that you're going to get to these people. There's no way to do that. And I'm not saying that because I want people to feel like there's no hope. There is hope. Like Shawnee. Shawnee was a Trump supporter. But what happened with him? What was it that he said? He said that Donald Trump said, if you're somebody who's worried about Jeffrey Epstein, then you're not MAGA. And he said, boom, that did it for him. That answered his question, and he was out. There's going to be something that happens with these people. It's not going to be the things that you and I are looking at. It's going to be something, and they keep on dwindling. It keeps on getting smaller and smaller every day. More and more people leave this cult, and they understand, wow, I cannot believe that. If you guys just listened to Shawnee, you would have never guessed that he was a MAGA person, but he was. And what was it that did it? It was one thing that Donald Trump said. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do for them. You can tell them I work with people like this, and they're good people. I love them, and we get along great. We joke around and everything, but they say things to me. Like, I'll give you an example. They weren't saying it to me, but I was in the room and I ended up just leaving because I don't like to go back and forth with a lot of things. And the comments that they were saying were, yeah, these people, like, this was the conversation that they were having, and they were having it in front of me, I guess, because they thought that I would react, and I didn't, because I know what's going to happen. It's not going to matter. They were saying to each other, yeah, can you believe it? Like, these guys are telling the people to go out there and be violent. They're telling their people to go out there and do things to these ICE officers, man. It's fucked up, man. Like, they shouldn't be doing that. That's what they're telling their people, and that is not happening at all. Like, and that's just an example, right? Like, I'm just giving you an example. There's other things that continue to be told to these people that are nowhere near reality. There's no person at all. There's no body at all. There's no movement. There's no leader out there telling anybody to go do anything violent to anybody at all. But they think that that's what's happening. And you're looking at this and you're thinking to yourself, well, how's that even possible that you can even think this with all of the violence that you see the ICE people doing to everybody else? Like, they're literally running up on people, beating people up, pulling them out of cars, jumping on top of them, like 5, 6, 7, 8 on one, like for no reason, knocking people over, cursing them out. You see all of this happening all the time. Now, yes, you're going to see some resistance to that. You're going to see people saying, get out of here. We don't want you here. Fuck you, all that stuff. But that's not them being violent. That's them being resistant. That's them protesting. Whereas the violence, the actual acts of violence, physical violence, is being performed by the ICE guys, but they're not being shown that. They're not being shown that at all. They have no idea that these things are happening, and it's because of the ICE people. And it's sad. It's sad but true. I can see that there's a lot of people comments, but there's someone calling now. So let's find out who this is. Hold on one second.
Call from.
My name is Jordan.
Jordan, go ahead, brother.
Yo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we can hear you. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. I used to be MAGA, not anymore. Because Trump is for Jewish supremacy. He's only for Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts?
Well, I can see that. I mean, listen, at one point, and I'm going to say like maybe a little more than a year ago, I was looking at, I still was seeing Israel as an ally to the United States. But I don't feel like that at all. I think Israel's taking advantage of the United States. They're constantly taking money from us. They're getting us into wars, getting us in trouble, spending money, running up our debt because we keep on paying for so much shit that they keep on getting themselves into. Benjamin Netanyahu continues to not allow for there to be an election so that his ass can be out of there. He's basically a dictator, and we're continuing to support this country, and they're committing a genocide of the people in Palestine. Now, is there people in Palestine that are 100% good people? Of course there is, but are there some people that are bad? Hamas being, of course, the worst of them? Of course, but that doesn't mean that you get rid of an entire goddamn population of people. And I don't like that about what Israel's doing right now. So no, I don't like that.
Yes. 100%, dude. You well said. Yeah, man, Israel controls us, and we got to stop them before it's too late,
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you, man.
God bless you too. Thank you. There goes Jordan, everybody. So this woman, let's continue with this. Thank you, Jordan, for calling up. Jordan, another person who, again, has left MAGA, and we're going to continue to see that kind of stuff all the time here. This is Bumble, ready to rumble, says UMFs are to blame. We are to blame for what? What are you talking about? Are you talking to, or maybe you're talking to somebody in the comments? Maybe you're talking to somebody in the comments, because I know you're not talking about me. There's no way you're talking about me, right? You know what I mean? Let me see. This is Blood Addled, says physical interference, touching, blocking, or physically impeding an ICE officer in lawful duty can lead to arrest for obstruction or assault. These actions can justify detention or arrest under such. Well, let me explain something to you, Blood Addled. None of those things are happening, and they're going after people and assaulting people for no reason. What do you have to say about that? Now, has there been one or two people that maybe have done some blocking or something? But for the most part, blood addled. We can see the videos. Okay. Now I don't know what you've seen, but I know what I've seen. And 99.99% of the time, they're going after somebody who's literally 50 feet away from them, following them in a car. They stop their car, get out of their car, and then walk up to them and say, if you keep on following us, we're going to arrest you. That's against the law. They're not impeding anything. They're following you. They're observing. That's what they're doing. And I'm sorry, blood addled, if you think that that's what's happening most of the time, but there is a fact here. We can see the videos. Maybe you're just denying it. Where is the dude that said something about it's your fault, though? I mean, I'm wondering what he was talking about. This is Gensley Report says left MAGA, meaning let's not make America great. We have not made a Gensley Report. We have not made America great. First of all, a year and a half ago under Joe Biden, our country was far greater than it is right now. We have a mess of a country. Donald Trump has made a mess and a mockery of our country. Nobody wants to come here. You guys, like MAGA likes to call that shutting down the border. There's no shutting down the border. There's a difference between people wanting to come here and now people not wanting to come here. There's like a big, gigantic difference. A lot of that is in the form of tourism too. So we've lost billions upon billions of dollars in income for many people around the country. There are businesses that are depending on tourism, people that offer housing, services, anything that has to do with hospitality. All these things are suffering in our country because we don't have anybody that's coming here. And that's just not because the borders are closed. Nobody wants to come here. Nobody wants to leave a dictatorship to come to a new dictatorship. Nobody wants that. I mean, there's nothing good about what Donald Trump has been doing in this country. Our economy is to shit, right? Everything is massively more expensive. Everything is unpredictable. We don't have any allies anymore. I mean, the list goes on and on. So please, I don't know what you mean by left MAGA, meaning let's not make America great. It wasn't making America great before. MAGA is not a make America great again movement. It has been and always will be and always has been nothing but a cramp and a fall for America. It's not good at all. Growing Golfing says we need more taxes. Well, we don't need more taxes. We actually can use a tax cut. But the problem is that we keep on getting our taxes hiked by Republicans, and then they keep on giving the richest people on the planet all of the tax breaks. Now, I understand that the richest people on the planet already pay more taxes than we do. Of course they do. But here's the thing, though. You guys have to understand something. Here goes somebody else calling who this is. Hold on.
Call from
Liam.
Liam, go ahead, brother.
How's it going?
How's it going with you, man?
It's doing good. I'm a little irritated, but
Why are you irritated, brother?
Well, so I did leave MAGA. Well, I didn't even vote. At all. I didn't vote. But yeah, I'm a little irritated just in general, to be honest with you.
Go ahead. Tell me about it, man. I'm here for you.
So I made sure both times that I had a no voting household. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Why would you do that though?
Because I don't like this. Well, I like the system. I like America, the Constitution, capitalism, you know what I mean? I'm an American before anything, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's too much corruption, and I thought that if you pick evil, it doesn't matter which evil you pick. Is kind of what I thought.
Yeah. Well, you thought wrong on that one, didn't you?
I'd say so. Yeah. I definitely, I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
But
why would you think that if you were looking at Kamala Harris, what about Kamala Harris?
It had nothing to do with Kamala Harris.
Okay, well, it had to do with something then. I mean, it had to do with something.
Yes, and that's what I'm here to explain. So it had nothing to do with Kamala Harris. it had stuff to do with Trump why I didn't vote for him. Because I mean, like he clearly said Epstein files, and I kind of thought, and I already knew back in the 70s he would scam people for money, so I don't trust the scammer.
That's all he's
So
been
that's
doing
why I
since he
didn't
got
vote.
into office too. He continues to scam his people for money. It's crazy.
And that's why I didn't vote for him, because you know what I mean? I figured he'd do it again.
He did.
But
He continues to.
But the reason I didn't vote for Kamala or Joe Biden is mainly, well, first, I didn't think Joe Biden had the mental capacity, just like I didn't think how Trump has the mental, don't think how Trump has the mental capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Kamala, it was more based off the fact of, so like, starting off, right? Let me go back a little bit.
Yeah.
In second grade, when I was in second grade, and I live in Virginia, when I was in second grade, they had us make posters for if we wanted Obama, and I think it was, I forget the other candidate. And like, we literally went to protest. So like, that immediately hyper politicized a very young group of people. Because
they made you go protest?
Yes. Like, we went to rallies.
Okay.
And then we also
you went to
did
rallies. Well, rallies are different than protests, just so you know. Rallies is supporting, like, you're going because you're there because you like the candidate. A protest is you don't like something. So which one was it? Did you go to something because they were saying you like this? You got to like President Obama? Is that what they were doing?
Okay, my apologies then. They were rallies.
Okay.
But when rallies would happen,
probably
it was always
Obama and Romney. Yeah. You had said it was against Obama and somebody. It was probably Obama.
I believe
Romney,
it was
right?
I thought it was Mitt Romney, but I wasn't sure. So I don't.
Yeah. When was it? Like, how old are you right now?
26.
Yeah. So then it was Romney, because the first one was against McCain, and that was in 2008, and you were much younger than that. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. But basically, like, really hyper politicized that age range of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure how, but maybe not a large portion, because whoever talks the most or like the loudest, like, it's always going to be the loudest people who make the change, because the people who are moderate don't ever speak up.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, when Nazi Germany became a thing, I shouldn't have said that because we're on YouTube.
No,
but like, when that became a thing,
I don't care.
It was the loudest people talking.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the normal people. It was the loudest. In any dictatorship, it's always the loudest people talking.
Yeah.
So basically, they, at least in my area, the people on the left, they would always, like, extremely protest at, like, these events we would go to.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, they would just be, like, really, really mean and, like, spiteful.
Mm.
And like, I'm a Christian, or like, I tried to be.
Yeah.
And like, I try to follow the ways of Jesus and loving everyone. And like, if someone asks you to walk a mile, walk two, have understanding for people, love your neighbor, pray for your enemy, and bless those who curse you, type of thing.
Yeah.
But they were always like really, really spiteful for like my beliefs. I mean, I remember being in government class, and my teacher was literally Army infantry soldier. And we had people like sit down for like the Pledge of Allegiance, knowing his former job and having him being the teacher, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, this would kind of go on for like years. And I just feel like because they were super extreme from like a starting point, that basically made a whole bunch of people mad at them, being like, all you're doing is giving us hate and constantly giving us hate.
What was the message, though, that your teachers were giving you before and after? Because I mean, I can see something like that happening, and I would kind of think it's cool if they're just introducing you into the political sphere. This is what part of being an American is like. You want to get out there, you want to know what politics is, get to know the candidates. You know, you want to vote. It's very important. Like, these weren't the messages that you were being given. You were being given something else, you say?
Well, those were the messages we were given, but it's kind of like, if you can give like January 6th, Trump can give people a message, but if you're not condemning the violence after you give the message or telling people to stop or not be violent, then it doesn't matter. So it's like you give people a message of this is the system and this is how we vote. But then like when a group of people are just like being like through you and like ripping up your posters that you made for supporting your candidate and being like, well, if you don't like this candidate, then I can't even talk to you right off the gate, then like that's gonna cause issues.
Yeah, I think maybe you've ran into or caught a bad one or something, because I mean, I know what you're talking about. Like there can be a lot of really annoying protesters, and a lot of the left is very much a very active protesting population. Like the right, they will protest, but it's not in the same way. Like you get a lot of marches and people like you've seen the way that they've done it, and they can be a little insulting sometimes. But I've never, like for the most part, it's usually peaceful. I mean, I'm talking about for the most part. Like when I say that it can be, it's just like anything else. I mean, but it's usually something very, very peaceful and very accepting for anyone who's there. So I think maybe because you were a child, you may have been traumatized by maybe an action that somebody did to you at an event that you were taken to, and then it just jaded everything that you've seen since then.
And then it just kind of like jaded it in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, like if you have somebody that you support, you don't have to go to rallies. I've never been to a rally. The only thing that I've been to is victory parties for a specific candidate, but not because I was there because I was all about that candidate, but because I was covering it. I worked for the news and we were there. We were doing live reports. This is where I was at the loser side also, for different candidates, for mayoral races in New York and senatorial races in New Jersey, governor races in New Jersey. I've been to all kinds of different things, but it was just because I was working. So I've never been that type either, right? So you can still be, right? You can still be politically motivated without having to go to a rally. You can still be influential and you can still have a very high passion for your country and how things are happening because of the way politics are in your state, your area, your country, by getting involved without having to go to rallies. You don't have to do that. If that's something that you think you have to participate in order for you to be political, then you don't need to do that. You can not do that and still be just like me. You know what I mean? You could do a channel. Why don't you start a channel? Like I said to the other, there was another guy came on and he was really good about what his thoughts were. Maybe that's an outlet for you. You can also do something like this, what I'm doing now, and you can talk to people about your thoughts about things, and it might open up your mind about some different ways that you could express yourself. You don't have to always go to rallies.
Well, I guess what kind of irritates me, that kind of is what irritated me, is like I kind of have the same views as that guy, like who was on the phone. And I've had the same views.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like an actual traditional conservative, like legitimately. And like typically when I try to talk to people, and I literally talk to everybody. And like when I talk to people who are MAGA, like they're super crazy. And then when I talk to people who are like maybe, and it's like you said, maybe I'm just finding like the bad batch or something.
Yeah. Well, I agreed with everything that he had to say, because I think that there's a mix up in culture today in America that,
because I literally agree with everything he said. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. I've been telling everybody that in person. Like,
so here's what I say. I say that, the whole thing about capitalism, people love capitalism in this country because it gives you the ability to have the freedom to make as much money as you want, which I'm all for. If you can do that, then fantastic. What I think though is there needs to be, in order for your country to be healthy, right? You've got to have some kind of socialism. And this is what he was saying as well. That's why I was just like, man, you and I are agreeing with everything. It's the same exact thing. But here's the reason why people get scared of socialism. When you have somebody like a Donald Trump that's involved, if he
then you get a dictatorship.
then you get a dictatorship. Exactly. With the system that we have, we would be able to avoid that, which we still can with this guy, because my belief is that he's still trying to become a dictator. He does not want to leave office. He's doing everything he
possibly
can.
And we can keep voting for people.
But what we can do, though, is listen. Hold on. Let me explain this to you, because what can happen with capitalism and socialism mixed together is when you have the people that make a lot of money. I understand that they pay a lot of taxes already, but unfortunately, they are making so much money. And it sounds it sounds crazy because I'm saying unfortunately, but fortunately and unfortunately, it kind of goes both ways. Fortunately for them, they're making a lot of money, but unfortunately, because of that, you have to get taxed more, like even more than what we're getting taxed and more than what they're getting taxed now. Because here's the way it goes: the top 10% of the United States owns 75% of all the money. 10% of people. But yet they're only paying still 26%, right? And we're paying 25%. Yeah. So they're paying a little bit more than us, but because they're paying a little bit more than us, like I'll give you an example. 26% of 100,000 is 26,000. 26% of 100 million is 26 million, right? So they're obviously paying more than us, but they're still paying percentage-wise the same amount as
nothing.
Us, but yet they have 100 million and we have 100,000. You see how that's a disconnect there? And it just it makes everything go out of whack. And then what ends up happening is that guy with 100 million, he still has $74 million. He still has $74 million. We only have $74,000. So he takes that $74,000, he goes buys other things that we want to buy, and then he takes all that, and now he has all that income coming in, and then we start to get less and less and less. But if he were to pay everything over 10 million, he pays 70% in taxes. Well, then we end up having more of an equality that happens, and we have more parity. You understand?
See, I agree with you 100%, but I think there's a couple things, maybe not you're missing, but things you can like expand upon.
Of course.
In that sense.
Absolutely.
So like
just shooting the breeze here.
I got you. So like I'll give you an example. So like with me believing in Jesus, right? And the reason I believe in Jesus over like communism, so like communism is like force, like you don't own the rights to your own labor.
Right.
And what I like about America is everyone's free. We're supposed to be able to individually do what we want within a parameter. And I feel like those parameters come from the Bible in the New Testament. I could be mistaken, but that's how I feel. I feel like all the founders, for the most part, were Christians, and
generally,
this is a Christian. But if someone's truly a Christian, they shouldn't need to be taxed because they would give away their money, or not give it away. But we've gotten into this issue with politics where people are like this side, that side, and they're just arguing amongst each other, when really it should be, okay, we all come together collectively. We have this amount of money. How do we get the roads paved efficiently and get it done? Or like whatever issue needs to be done, it should be about getting the issue done or solved. And then the other thing is, when you were talking about how it's a capitalist society, so it's about just making money, we had a shift to where the products and goods that used to be sold and afforded to us, they used to be like high quality, and like, like shoes used to be stitched instead of glued,
right?
Like just things of that nature.
100%. I got you. I'm following you. I feel you.
So we sold off the quality for quantity and cheaper materials. And what we need to do is we need to go back to basically having quality things, and we need to emphasize professions and goods that are actually useful and helpful in our day-to-day lives and every day, instead of things that are just like the quick dopamine or fun or things of that nature.
And I agree with you. Also, in to expand on that, you also have our food, right? Like our food used to be so much better and so much better for us. Now we have so much crap thrown into our foods that's making us unhealthy. And then to top it off, we're getting unhealthier because of the food that we're being fed, and then we don't have health care. Like, so it's like this big mess that we're making ourselves into. But when I say our food, I'm talking about everything, even the stuff that's grown out of the ground. The stuff that used to be grown out of the ground was clean. It was made with water. Now we've got water, this, that, and the third. Everything is dumped in there to make it more, and we end up having to ingest these things, and it's not doing anything good for us. It's in fact doing bad things for us. And if we were back in the 1950s and you tried yourself a steak back then, or you had yourself an apple or corn, you'd think, my goodness, this tastes way different. Why? Because it was way better back then. Now we have all these different things being thrown into our food, making it even worse for the dollar.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Got you.
Come on again, okay?
Got you. I do have one question.
Yes.
That might be an argument if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Are you an abortion fan? Or do you think women should have the right to choose?
Well, I'm not an abortion fan, and I think that there's a misconception with that, and that's probably why there is so many arguments, because people that think that someone like me who is pro-choice, that means that we're an abortion fan. It doesn't mean that I'm a fan of it. It just means that, yes, I believe that a woman has the right to choose herself, not any other women, and especially no men, but she should have the choice herself to do what she wants with her own body.
So even if the man wants to keep the baby, like if the man is like, say like I knocked up or got someone pregnant, and I was like, they were like, I don't want the baby, and I'm like, well, I kind of want the baby, and you can sign the baby over to me if you have the baby, and I can give you like $100,000 or like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
that would be an ideal world. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Liam.
Liam. Okay, Liam. That sounds like a very beautiful, beautiful world, except that's not what's happening. And you know that that's not going to happen. And here's why that's a problem. If we had legislation that legislated something like that, let's just say that they said, okay, listen, if you have two people that have conceived and one of them doesn't want, and she is the woman, but the father says, then we are going to make it lawful that you have to have that baby. But man, here's what you're on the hook for: everything. You're on the hook for everything, and there's no law like that. You see, what ends up happening though is there are plenty of men that say, hold on, Liam, 1 second. There's plenty of men out there that would say, yes, I want the baby, I want the baby, I want the baby, and then they leave. And now she's stuck with this baby. And now guess what happens? Do we have anybody that's going to help her? No. Are Republicans out there like me or anybody else in our party that would say, yes, let's have help for women and their babies? No, that's gotten shot down by Republicans over and over again. So there is this movement for what's called pro-life, but when the life is here, there's no help whatsoever at all. And that's another
problem. And that's the issue. You're saying that's the issue is, once the life is here, there's no help, and that's why there's like
none. Exactly.
Okay, so do you think if, like, say this is like ideal, like for me, for an example, if I got someone pregnant, if they didn't want the baby, I'd literally offer them some money to like for me to keep the baby, and like I'd be willing to sign like a legal document to keep the baby myself and like never give up the baby. You get what I'm saying? Just because like me personally, I value like,
sure,
you know, to me that's. So, like, do you think that should be a thing that I should be able to do or no?
I think it's something that you should be able to do. The problem is that, again, it's just you saying it. And that doesn't really mean anything. Like, unless there's something backing it up, there's no real way
like
for anyone to know.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, say I signed a legal document with me saying it.
Sure.
Like, say I, like, got, like, something notarized by, like, a court. And then it's, you know, notarized, so it's legal, and then I sign it, then you would find it acceptable?
I personally would, but I would understand why the girl might be hesitant. Because, again, we're talking about you, even a court. Like, you can easily just leave, Liam. That's the
Really?
problem with the way things are here. There's no
So even
real
with
way.
the court, I could actually just leave.
If the child followed every move that you ever made because it's attached to you legislatively, meaning anytime you get a job, anytime you get paid, every time you like anything that you do, if you create a business, that baby's going to be, it's going to be no matter no matter how you try to hide it, it's going to follow you.
The baby's right there.
I'm not. No, what I'm talking about is if you leave. That's what I'm. See, that's the point. That's the part you're thinking about. You always staying, and I believe you. You sound like a really good guy. You probably would stay. Probably 100% would stay. But there's like 1,000 guys for the one that you are that would not. And that's the problem.
True. That's true, and that's what makes me upset. Is like I feel like there are so many people who are like, you know, just like disingenuous and like just come out and like lie and like, you know what I mean?
And then there's also the guy out there that's like, yeah, sure, I have the baby. I want to be there for the baby too. But then he keeps on having another baby and then another baby. And now you've got this woman who has a father of 8 other kids from 8 other women. What about that? Now, what is she supposed to do now? Like she's supposed to have this family with this guy and he's got a harem of women like that. Like it's just you know, what if she got pregnant by that and then she doesn't want to have to deal with that? She's like, I don't want to deal with this for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So then she's got to look at, you know, she's got things like that she has to put into perspective. And unfortunately, that's her decision.
See, I'd agree with you to where like, no, I agree with you. I don't think someone who has like multiple kids or like multiple divorces and kids from multiple people, male or female, should be looking for someone, you know, in that sense. But I feel like that's kind of part of discernment as well, where I feel like, you know what I mean? Like people know who the good people are and who the people who really care are. And I just feel like people don't really like give a shit. You know what I mean? Like I was like doing statistics and felons have more kids than non-felons.
Yeah.
And like to me, that's just kind of wild. And like I'm sure there are a lot of
that's a whole different discussion, Liam. I mean, what we're talking about there is a woman's sexual attraction, and we can go on and on about that. But that has we're not talking about freedom of choice in that. We're talking about a woman's decision, and that's a whole different discussion. All right, that's a different discussion.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a good evening.
You too. Thank you for calling, Liam. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a blessed one.
You too.
Bye.
There goes Liam, everybody. And I thought that he and I had a very good discussion. Although for some reason we've lost a lot of people. I don't know why. I thought that was such a good show that we've done so far. Right? Chris, what does this mean right here, Chris? Because this sounds really bad. He says Renee Good and Alex Preddy are looking up at us. What the f is that supposed to mean, bro? Come on. Like, you know what I mean? 2 innocent people that got killed by ICE agents. They were murdered by ICE agents for no reason. And you're saying that they're in hell? Bro, what are you doing? What kind of a thing is that to say? I mean, just nonsense, bro. Richard Cornell says mandatory ID to vote is racist. Well, I don't think it's a racist thing. I just don't think that it's necessary. But if it is, if people require, if your voting station, wherever it is that you need to go to vote, requires you, or your state requires you to show ID, then show the ID. I mean, the only people that vote in this country are citizens. You cannot vote. Now, there's some, I will say this, there's a caveat. There are some places and some things that you can vote for in your town that are not federal elections, but have to do with your specific town and your area, where people that live there, you can vote. Yes. But you cannot vote in a federal election. So you can't, in other words, vote for a congressperson. You cannot vote for the president. You can't vote for the senator. You can't vote for the president. You can't, if you're not a citizen of this country, then you're not voting for those things. It is just as simple as that. It is literally the way it is in this country, and it has always been that way. And people who think otherwise, they are being lied to. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Ralph Perry. I appreciate you, brother. Love you. In Rochester, New York, we just vote. Yeah, I just vote too. Like when I go there, like the last time I voted, the guy said, "Where do you live?" And I was like, I told him where I lived, and I was like, I could show you my ID. He was like, I don't need your ID. I have your name and all of your information's right here in front of me. And I was like, okay, great. And that's the way it goes. When you register to vote, all of your information is already there. Like it's just the way it goes. There's no real need for voter ID. I mean, I'm not against it because it's just like it's not going to do anything. Like it's not going to make it more secure. We have the most secure elections in the world, and there's no comparison. We have the best, most secure. And so if that's why many of you that go and they don't ask you for ID, the reason why is because when you tell them your name, all of your information is in front of them. It's right there on a sheet or it's on a computer screen. Why? Because in order for you to register to vote, you need your ID. You need all that shit you can't just register to vote on a piece of paper, sign it, and turn it in. That's not the way it goes. There is a system that you need to go by, and the system involves your identification. It's part of it. Like having to constantly, show your ID for everything is just stupid. Like even Donald Trump said that you have to show ID to buy eggs and milk at the grocery store. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, you don't. But they make people confused by saying dumb things like that. And it's just not true. We don't need that. What evil did Alex do? I'll wait. I know, so will I, because no, he didn't do any evil. The person, the Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Good got murdered by ICE terrorists. That's what happened. And if anybody thinks otherwise, well, then you're the one who's going to hell. You're the one who's evil, because we can see the video. We can see the video, literally on video, what happened. Let's see who this is from. I don't know who it is. You didn't say your name, but go ahead, man. Hello? All right. Not here. So it was a call from somebody. But yeah, like anybody who disagrees with that is just kidding themselves. We can see the video. That's the thing about MAGA, though. Like MAGA literally denies what's right in front of their face, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Was it an obscene call? Because I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything, right? You guys didn't hear anything, right? Fox is telling lies about it, says Ralph Perry. I know. That's what they do. That's all they do is lie to their people. It's really sick what they do. It's really sick what they do. This is a call coming in again. Let's find out who this is. It's coming from
Daydreams.
Daydreams. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, man. I'm watching your stream. I'm new. I thought you were really cool, man. I really enjoy your views.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Daydreams. Are you in the comments? I haven't seen you at all, but what do you have to say?
Yeah, I am in the comments. Yeah, I commented. I even was like, it was me. I was just trying to figure out the right words to say. I was just nervous at first. My bad.
No problem. But what is it that you want to talk about, man?
Whatever you would like to. I'm new to your stream. I don't know exactly everything you
well, we talk about politics, and we talk about Donald Trump. We're talking about, like, right now, somebody had mentioned then Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy, and there's different things. There's a whole bunch of things going on in the country that maybe you have an opinion on.
Awesome. Yeah, and everything that's going on with Iran and everything right now. That's pretty crazy.
Iran, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are you
about what's happening?
Are you at all concerned about this president and his taste for war, that he continues to he wants to continue to go after countries and threaten with war? He's already attacked Iran. He wants to do it again. We've got that whole area being surrounded by military, and And then he went after the president of Venezuela. He's threatened Canada. He's threatened.
Yeah, he just wants to attack
England.
everybody. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's mind baffling how we can just put somebody in charge and expect them not to make something stupid like this. How did he even get a term again? With his outrageous thoughts, like he just wants to rage war on everybody and just attack everybody full force. What are we going to accomplish? World War III? Crazy, man.
Unfortunately, that might be where we're heading. But the reason why Donald Trump got elected again was because of, simply put, the lies. That's what happened. There were so many people that have been lied to by so many people, and it has turned our country into what we're looking at right now, which is a bunch of people that literally have no idea what's going on in real life. And so that there's examples of it all the time. One of the people, the reason why Alex Preddy came up was because somebody said in my comments, Alex Preddy and Nicole Good are looking up at us, meaning that they're in hell. There is zero reason to think that when we all saw the video of both of them getting murdered. They didn't do anything wrong.
They were executed. It was crazy how it happened. Yeah. And I agree. We all seen it. We're not blind,
Yeah.
But everybody's acting blind to the new president, and he ain't even new, really, because it's just crazy, I don't really understand, I wake up and I check YouTube news, because, like, I keep seeing this stuff about World War III and about him attacking again. And then I came across your channel and I was like, oh my God, I need you. I loved watching your videos so far.
Well, thank you so much. And thanks for coming on with your call, brother. I appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch the videos and see me when I come on live and call back again. Okay.
Of course. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
You got it. So that dude, Chris, who kept on saying it over and over again, that Nicole Good and whatever, I just banned him from the comments because he's just a complete and utter idiot. It's just unbelievable that people think this way, but it is what it is, though. I do want to talk about this, though, because I haven't had a chance. Let me take this off because I do want to watch this video with you because I haven't seen it. It's Kyle Kalinske, and I don't usually bring on videos like this anymore. I usually find videos that I can talk about that are of something, not somebody else's video. I used to do that kind of stuff a lot. You guys know that. But this is Kyle Kalinske, and he's freaking awesome. And what he's doing right now is he's completely like just dogging out and killing Joe Rogan. And he does anytime this guy goes up against anybody, I find him to be fascinating because he knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows exactly how to get to these people and make and beat them in every way. But he's talking here about Joe Rogan played like a fiddle. Why? Because of different people that he has had on his show and that he has platformed that have been and are on the Epstein list. So let's listen to Kyle Kalinske talking about this.
All right, guys, we got a video here from American Redact, every Joe Rogan guest in the Epstein files. So I know you guys have probably seen the memes and seen the talk by now, but basically he had at least 10 people on his show and helped launder their reputations when they were in the Epstein files, and not in the Epstein files in like a roundabout way. Some of these people were in the Epstein files with like damaging ass stuff. So really the Joe Rogan experience became the Jeffrey Epstein experience, and we're about to watch a breakdown of that. Here we go.
Here's a deep. So here goes. Let me just point out this dummy right here. And this is a MAGA dummy, obviously. He says, you won't show the full video. You don't believe your own eyes. Everyone let the media and politicians tell you what to think. This is you. You're talking about yourself, blood-addled. You literally are talking about yourself because everybody in my comments knows I did play the entire video, and I paused it and I went in slow motion. I went frame by frame, bro. You're the one who's being told what to think. You're the one who doesn't want to believe your own eyes. That's you. You're talking about yourself. We went frame by frame on this. Alan, Gwyneth, we went frame by frame on this. This dude's trying to tell us that we didn't want to play the entire video. Bro, we played it frame by frame. You're the one who's being brainwashed and told what to think. And you, just like a good boy, that's exactly what you're doing, aren't you? Please, bro, get out of here, man.
Per point, man. And I don't mean to do this every time I'm on, but you have such a crazy power that if you're not careful, folks from deep, dark...
What is going on here, bro? What the is going on here? Wait a second, hold on.
Damaging ass stuff. So really, the Joe Rogan experience became the Jeffrey Epstein experience, and we're about to watch a breakdown of that. Here we go.
Here's a deeper point, man. And I don't mean to do this every time I'm on, but you have such a crazy power that if you're not careful, folks from deep, dark wells of perspective are going to infiltrate your shit because people are going to like try to exploit you. That's the main thing, is like people recognizing what you are.
By the way, now this guy, Duncan Trussell, the guy who's talking, now he's a Peter Thiel defender. Now he's a Palantir defender. They got to him too, y'all.
Of course. This guy looks like a weirdo. You guys see what this? You see this guy, bro? What's going on here, bro? This is freaking nuts. Thank you, Ralph Perry, my man. Another $9.99 super chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Oh, Life Light. I know he was disarmed. First of all, Life Light, you're saying that he was disarmed by the admission of those who arrested Hid Moron, talking to one of the MAGA dummies. But we saw the video. No one is ever going to get no one's going to stop me ever from making that point. Okay. And people like this are exactly who I'm talking about when I make fun of them and talk about their complete and utter stupidity. This guy keeps on saying, show the full video. We've already shown the video over and over and over again. We have shown it frame by frame. Everybody in the world has seen it. And only cucks like you do as you're told and believe something completely different than what we all saw with our own eyes and heard with our own ears. You're the one who has a problem, bro. We're totally fine over here. You're the one who looks crazy. Let's continue.
They got to him too.
Political agendas will infiltrate your shit and then start blowing out their radioactivity into the world, right? That's a fear.
Like radium, like...
All right, so now that people have had a few days to digest the millions of emails and documents linked to Jeffrey Epstein, it's now starting to appear that Joe Rogan's had a lot of people on his show that are now confirmed to have been closely linked to the predator and criminal.
He had on Epstein's private ship? Oh my God. I didn't know it was that bad. Come on, man.
Here goes another bot, everybody. They say things like this all the time, and it's always funny to me, so I always point it out because I love, they all say the same thing, don't they? You know what I mean? TDS. I used to be a Democrat, but then I saw people like you, and I voted for Trump. And then you got the exact things like this. EndingMAGA, you all doing this exact shit is what created MAGA. That's what it was. Yeah, we created MAGA. We weren't even around when MAGA was created. That's how dumb this guy is. And pushed so many people towards Trump. Yeah, it was because of people like me and channels like me. That's what it was. Guess what I'm going to do? The same thing. I'm going to go even further. You're not going to stop me, bro. All these stupid comments like this, I just love them. I love them. You know why? Because I know what you're hoping for, bot. You're hoping that I would read that and go, oh, really? Maybe I should stop doing it then. Maybe I should stop. Maybe if I did stop, so many people wouldn't go to MAGA and be as dumb as they are. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm going to keep on going further and further and further and further. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to love it. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter to me. I could give a fuck about you, bro. Let's continue.
Don't tell me you didn't say shit about it. Don't tell me you didn't say shit about it, Joseph. Oh, So Joseph Robinette Rogan, what is wrong with you? Holy shit. Oh my God, bro. By the way, and we talked about this on Kyle and Cohen the other day too. In a roundabout way, to give Rogan a little bit of credit, I remember when I went on the show one of the times and Cohen was with me. And
so look at this dummy right here. This is another one. Donald Thomas says the left cheered for Kirk. Now they know how it feels. You know, it's funny, but Donald is totally okay with Renee Nicole Good getting murdered and then Donald Trump calling her a terrorist, the fucking president of the United States saying that. And the same thing about Alex Preddy. And every other act of violence that the right does, which is 90% of the time, it's done by the right. Donald Trump says something nasty about people on the left. And what did the people on the left do in reality, as opposed to what Donald Thomas is saying here? What did President Obama say? What did President Biden say? What did Nancy Pelosi say? Like, all these people were like, this is something that we should not ever have in our country. We do not condone this. Like, violence should never happen. We feel for Charlie Kirk and his family. That's what actually happened. But this MAGA dummy saw something completely different. Was there a couple of people? And I don't care about I don't care about normal people. Like, if there was a woman in her basement making a video saying, yay, Charlie Kirk died, I don't care about that person. What I care about are the leaders of this country actually saying this is not a good thing, like Kyle Kalinske, who has 2 million people channel, like the Meidas Touch Network, who has 6 million people channel, and others like that made videos saying this is not something that we should be doing in this country. But yet when these people die, and anyone dies on the left because of somebody on the right performing their violence like they always do, you guys make jokes about it. You guys make fun of it. You guys make videos about it. Your guy, Donald Trump, calls people terrorists. Your guy makes it worse. And everybody on your side does. That's what you motherfuckers do. You guys do that. Not us. You do it. Continue.
And before the show, Rogan was telling us this story about how there was one guest he had on his show, Lawrence Krauss. He's like a scientist guy. And Lawrence Krauss kept trying to get Joe to meet Epstein. And Joe was telling us this guy was pushy about it. It was really weird. And like, I know the weary stuff around Epstein. So like,
while Kyle's talking here, though, there's a little video. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on the right. He's about to play. And guess what it says? Epstein's private chef on Joe Rogan. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Basically turned it down. And come to find out, Joe Rogan is also in the Epstein files. And the way he's in the Epstein files is via that email. So Lawrence Krauss talking to Epstein saying, can you introduce me to Joe? And Lawrence Krauss going, yeah, I'll try to like get him to agree to that. And then Krauss tries and fails. And you have Krauss sending another email to Epstein, basically being like, sorry, weren't even able to really make it work out. He's a little skittish. I thought he wouldn't be this skittish, right? And so basically validating the story that Rogan told me and Cohen, that like they tried to get Epstein, wanted to fucking meet him, and he said no. So on the one hand, you got to give him credit because he knew about the noise around Epstein. He knew how nasty that shit was, and he decided I'm going to keep my distance. But on the other hand, he deserves no credit because he literally used his platform to launder all of these people who are in the Epstein class. And
so Blood Addled says anyone can cut a video to cut out this guy. This guy is a complete clown, bro. You're a clown, man. You are a clown, man. Like you're literally showing off right now about how dumb you are. I'm going to go over this comment. He says, anyone can cut out officers arrest the guy and only show the arrest. That's what happened. Show the full video. Video does not mean 10-second video. It means 2 minutes prior at least. Guess what, clown? We have shown that video here on the channel multiple times when it first happened. And guess what? Once again, I'm going to repeat this. Frame by frame. Guess what else? We saw him directing traffic minutes before. Yeah, he's there. He's directing traffic. We saw everything before, all the way up until, during, and after he got shot. That sounds like a lot more than 10 seconds. And it sounds like an unedited video, right? Guess what else? We saw multiple angles of it. In fact, we even saw the angle from inside the car that he's being attacked. You see how he's being attacked? You see how he was being attacked in front of a car? Someone was in that car videotaping it. We've seen and shown that video too. You don't know about that, though, do you? You know why? Because you're watching Tim Pool, Benny Hanna, Fox News, and all of these other MAGA complete and utter idiots lying to you. And you're swallowing it all up, bro. You're taking it in like a good bukkake, aren't you? Except, I'm sorry, but the videos show what they show. We've seen them. You're the one who hasn't. You've seen a 10-second video of something because we didn't see no 10-second video of him just getting arrested afterwards, because that's what happened 10 seconds after. He was dead. I mean, like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You can't make this shit up, bro. They do it to themselves. You got to love it, though.
In the Epstein files and partook in a lot of the fucked up shit, which means what, Joe? You have to reevaluate how naive and gullible you are and how you fall for shit way too fucking easy.
Which has definitely left a lot of people scratching their heads. I mean, it's one thing to have maybe one or two guys linked to Epstein on his show, but when you realize that Joe Rogan's platformed more than 9 different
I need to find this video that he's watching.
Different people and counting at this point, who were named in the files, sometimes thousands of different times, it all certainly raises more than a few questions. And it's not like anyone's accusing Joe Rogan of secretly going to Epstein's island or anything, but the very fact that he's had so many of these weirdos on his podcast just proves how accurate Duncan Trussell was in the opening clip there. Like, all of these creepy billionaires flock to Joe's podcast because they feel a sense of safety and protection with Joe. Not only because he never challenges these guys on anything or even question
anything at all, bro. He doesn't challenge them on anything. In fact, when he had Donald Trump on his show, Donald Trump, he says to Donald Trump, and I thought, oh, Joe Rogan's about to get into it here. He says to him, yeah, you say that you have all of this proof. When are we going to see this proof, though? Donald Trump says,
I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but we've got a whole bunch of it. It's coming. It's all coming.
And Joe Rogan moved on. He moved the fuck on. Like any other person that's good at what they do would have been like, oh, no, wait, no, hold on, no. You keep on saying this, though, man. It's 2024, all right? You're running for president, and you keep on saying that you won 2020, all right? And you keep on saying that you have all this proof, so where's the proof, man? If you can't show us the proof, then tell us what the proof is. Tell us what you have. What is some of it? Give us one or two different things. What are these things that you have? What is it? He didn't do any. He just moved the fuck on, bro. It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
They're links to Epstein, but also because he's so easily manipulated.
And by the way, that's the real crime, right? Is having on billionaires and letting them spew their propaganda, and you don't push back at all. Like, look, don't get me wrong.
A genius over here, Walter White. I'm streaming on 3 different channels. The one that you're on is one of my smaller ones, okay? So I don't have 4 people watching, all right? But thanks for being here. You're adding to the algorithm, and it's this way more people watch, okay? In fact, let's see how many people have come through. Let's find out. Let's let Walter White know how many people have come through. How many people have come through? $2,133 so far. Not bad at all. Let's continue, though.
It's totally fine. If you want to have a podcast where you're just hanging out with your comedian friends and shooting the shit and laughing and having a good time, that's totally fine. But what Rogan did is that, but then he also decided to take that same model and use it for right-wing politicians and use it for billionaires. And that's where you lose everybody who's got a functioning brain. Because if you're going to play in the big leagues, you got to hold these motherfuckers accountable. There's so much dirt on them and they do so much fucked up shit. And for you to just sit there and humanize them you're actively doing a disservice and you're harming the body politic, and everybody's worse off and dumber if they watch you humanize Peter Thiel and fucking Elon Musk and they walk away thinking these people are good people. They're not.
They're not. They're absolutely not. And there's another great video that Kyle did about the Epstein files that I want everyone to go watch. Okay. Because it is fascinating. All of the things that are found out about Donald Trump and the accusations in there. And it is some deep, dark, crazy, nasty shit that's in there. And it's just a drop in the bucket of what's to come and what is more that they haven't even found yet, with even 3 more million documents that are supposed to come out at some point. It's craziness. Put here and where you're from in the comments right now. Put here and where you're from in the comments. Would you date a MAGA? Says Nadrock. A MAGA woman? No. But I'd bang her. That's it. That's the only thing I would do with her, though. And then that, like, just for like a night. Like, I'd bang a MAGA woman for a night. That's it, though. Like, one night stand type thing. That's the only thing I would do with a MAGA woman. Who is here? There goes Alan Hinkle from Mississippi. Scott is here from Scotland. Here, you demand Dan. Thank you so much, Scotty. There goes Left Hand Strat here from goddamn Texas. You gotta love it. Talia is here from Washington State. You've gotta love it. And there goes Aloha Kitty here from the greatest state in the union. That would be that one, California, right? That's where she's now. She used to be down there in Hawaii, but now she's in California. Grizzly Motto's here from Pennsylvania. Stephanie Sayer is here from goddamn Oregon. You gotta love that. We're here coast to coast here on the channel. You've got to love that. There goes Aloha Kitty from California again. Who else is here? I don't see, like, there goes Ewer McKay is here from goddamn California as well. You got to love that. A lot of people represent the West Coast is the best coast, but the East Coast is the beast coast, and everybody knows it. You got to love that too, brother. There goes Dead Man System is here from Virginia. You've got to love that too. There goes Alan Hinkle says Oregon coast is beautiful. I think the whole goddamn West Coast is beautiful. But you already know, here in New Jersey, we got the best beaches. We call it the Jersey Shore. That's right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I do appreciate it. We'll come back tomorrow and do it all again. I'm off at 6 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be on doing the live talk, just talking to you guys, taking some calls like we did today. A great day today for phone calls, right? We had some good phone calls. You know what I mean? There goes GFF 6232, who's from the Midwest. There goes Goldpack, who's from the goddamn Gold Coast. You gotta love that down there in what is that? In Louisiana, right? Is that where it is? Let me see. Red states are welfare states. That's exactly right. Donor states is where we are over here in New Jersey. The blue states run the red states. Without the blue states, the red states are third world countries. It is what it is. Don't hate the messenger. It is what it is. I'll see you guys next time.